Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel for a brand new League Racing Highlights video. And as you can see by the jersey I'm wearing, we have joined the Aston Martin Aramco Esports team. And yeah, that's a little bit of an explanation as to why I've not been so active on the channel recently. I've been away for the first round of the F1 Sim Racing Championship and a little bit of training before that with the team. I won't have a full-time seat this season, unfortunately. But this opportunity gives me the time to sort of reset, refocus, and see what I want to do heading into next season. Whether I want to try and get back on the grid or move into a different role within the scene, that remains to be seen. That's all in the future. But right now, I'm super happy to be with the team once again after being with them back in 2021. And but yeah, enough of the present and the future. We are heading back into the past for the RaceTech Teams Championship. We are heading into round 5 in Brazil today. As you can see, after Mexico, we took the lead of the constructors' standings here, ahead of Williams Sim Racing and RHG Esports, and we continue to lead the way in the driver standings, 16 points clear now of Luca Rapassa. So yeah, really solid after that 1-2 in Mexico. If you didn't see that video, make sure to go check it out. Hectic race, a lot of fun to drive as well. So yeah, hopefully we can see more of the same heading into Brazil. But without further ado, let's head straight into qualifying here in the circuit in Sao Paulo. And yeah, straight to Q1 here. Last lap of the session coming out, 30 seconds to go on the clock, and we're only P12 at the moment. Our first lap was just not good enough. A lot of mistakes in there, so we just have to do, a clean lap to make sure we get through the session. We don't have to take any crazy risks. But heading through the first few corners, we're a couple of hundredths down on our previous lap, and yeah, we just need to have a little bit of improvement. Make sure we get through that top 15 and head through nicely into Q2, gaining a tenth almost straight away through turn 4 and 5 there. Not the cleanest of runs, but clearly much better than our previous attempt. Heading up the hill now into turn 8, getting a little bit wide of the apex, not hooking the car up on this low Q1 grip, which would compromise us all the way through here, turn 9, and up the hill towards turn 10 now. So yeah, still a couple of mistakes creeping in here, but as long as we get enough of an improvement, we don't need to set the world alight to get through this first Q1 session. Nibbling a little bit too much to the curb there, not carrying that enough minimum apex speed. As you can see, we still gained quite a lot of time. That just shows you how bad our first lap was, because we've even made mistakes on this lap, and we're going to comfortably go through the first part of qualifying there. I'm missing a couple of tenths, but I think those couple of tenths were probably there had we executed it a little bit better. But as you can see, heading into Q2 now, we're heading out very early in the session. As you can see, just under 13 minutes left to go, pushing on a new set of tyres. And you may wonder, why are you out so early? Why is everyone out so early? The weather is arriving in Brazil. As you can see, the sky is very, very overcast, and it's not any surprise that weather is playing a part here in Brazil. And as you may be able to see on the screen, the rain is starting here. So this is the lap that needs to count, heading through the last corner. Hopefully we've done enough here in Q2 as we get a little bit of a slide heading out onto the straight. That is going to hurt us all the way to the line here. Joris Grozen goes to the provisional pole with a 0.5. We're going to come across the line once again. What are we going to do? We only do a low 8, another messy lap.
I think I'm not through. Yeah, I'm not through, GG.
And our teammate behind us thinks he's out with his effort. He goes behind us into P9. We are currently P7. And as the last couple of cars cross the line here, we just, both of us, sneak through into Q3. Our teammate in P10 there. So yeah, great job by him.
I can try.
We just sneaked through as well, making it 2 cars into the top 10. So that's great. But as you can see, the rain has fallen, and we are heading out for our last run in Q3. And yeah, we've gone a little bit early. And our initial plan was to maybe go for a lap and back out of it, or maybe even go for a push. We've got the timing completely wrong. We're starting our lap with a minute and a half to go. And that's something I didn't realise at the time. I thought at this time I had to go for this lap. We didn't have enough time to back off and go again. As you can see, we're passing the last car here on the outlap of Joris Grozen. This should have been an indicator for me that, hey, I have enough time. I can back out and, cool the tyres down, get the battery replenished, and go for another push, because this is a scenario where the last car on the track is going to have the best track as the dry line comes in here. But we're continuing to push on. We go a little bit wide once again through turn 8 onto the wetter part of the track, which will lose us a little bit of grip as we head through the turn 9 uphill section here towards turn 10. Flicking the car in once again a little bit wide of the apex. We're 1.8 seconds up on our previous best. As you can see, the track is getting a lot better here, heading towards the last proper corner on the circuit. Flicking the car in once again, passing our teammate who's gearing up for his last lap. And yeah, we basically messed this up completely. We've shot ourselves in the foot with the timing here. We're giving ourselves the worst track possible compared to everyone else. Heading across the line here, it's going to be a 1:17.0 to go provisional pole. But inevitably, we are not going to get pole position today, despite feeling confident in these wet conditions.
Yeah, I'm actually brain dead.
Yeah, we are absolutely furious. And heading around on our in lap, as you can see, Florian Fan Delta goes to provisional pole, beating our time by 5 thousandths. And it's just going to be about how far we fall in this last part of qualifying. Alvaro Caraton takes provisional pole with a 16.8. Our teammate goes to the top on a 16.7. And as the last couple of cars cross the line, our teammate takes pole position. And obviously you can hear he's obviously really happy about that. The team's super happy. And, you know, as happy as I am to see my teammate on pole, I was absolutely furious with myself there for getting that timing wrong. Not only heading out of the pits too early, too late, but we had the opportunity to just call it all down and go again. We didn't, and we paid the price. We are P7 for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and yeah, with that track improvement, I think we would have been definitely fighting for pole position, if not at least the front row. I think we could have got pole position with that lap if we had made a couple less mistakes in those hairpins in turn 8 and turn 10. So yeah, absolutely furious, and yeah, we're going to try and reset the best we can heading into the start of this race, try and correct our mistakes. And heading into the start of this one, we're going to go for the medium hard strategy, as is our teammate, and you'll be able to see later on here that the Williams cars actually switched to the hard compound tyres in P2 and P3, I believe. So yeah, we've got 5 red lights on now, and it's lights out, away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We get an amazing start off the line here, almost passing Florian and Tamas straight away here, but we get boxed in, nowhere to go into the first corner here, leaving space on our inside for Jeremy Gallanet and Tamas Gal. We pick up a warning through turn 2 there, bit careless from us. So yeah, couple of silly mistakes within the first part of this race and the last part of qualifying, and we're going to try and correct that as we go through this 36 lap race. We're going to be getting nice and feisty here on the first lap, trying to go around the outside of Tamas Kokini here through the double right hand up the hill, and we're going to try once again to go around the outside of turn 8. We'll turn to the inside for turn 9, obviously leaving in plenty of room on the outside and trying to keep it clean through this first lap. Obviously we want to make up some ground, but we don't want to throw our whole race away on the first lap. We've got 2 championships to think about now, even though we didn't think we'd be in the constructors fight. We are. We feint a move to the inside of the last corner, forces Tamas a little bit wide here. Got 80% battery, we're going to burn it all towards the start of lap 2 here. We're going to try and force a move on the FVR Alpine car, and we're going to look to the outside here, heading into the turn 1. We're going to turn our battery off, and we're going to feint down the inside here, force the move, try and go around the outside, which will turn to the inside once again of turn 3, barge our way through on the Alpine, and that is us up into P6 here. But we are very low on battery, so we're going to try and make sure we keep this position heading through turn 4, as we're going to be very vulnerable if not. And we make a little bit of contact there with the Alpine. I think I might have, not quite left enough room, but we survived. And heading through the uphill right hander now. Both Tamashes go for a little bit of an adventure there, unfortunately for them. But we're going to skip all the way onto lap 12 here. We weren't able to make an impression in the first couple of laps on Florian, so we went into tyre conservation. And yeah, this is basically when things started to happen now in this race. As you can see in P4, we've got Nicholas Longue up ahead of us on the hard compound tyre, and as we head into the first corner here, you'll be able to see in the top left that Jan Halliday jumps up into P8 on those hard compound tyres as well. So as you can see, we're going through that phase now of the mediums dropping off, the hards being clearly the better tyre, as Jan Halliday makes another move up into P7 here, and he'll be breathing down our neck as we look to pick the right lap to go for the hard tyres here. Our teammate is still leading the race, so that's encouraging for us, and as you'll be able to see it in the top left, just to sort of confirm that the hard tyre is clearly the better one at the moment, Luca Rapassa emerges into P8, our championship rival for the drivers, and heading on to the end of the lap. We are going to go for the undercut, bearing in mind that, you know, trying to avoid going the same lap as Florin. He stays out, we're going to pull into the pits, and we're going to try and undercut essentially to our teammate in the lead, as everyone ahead of us stays out. Only 2 cars have gone the lap before us, Conrad Boehm and Tamas Kokony. So we're going to look to have nice clean pit stop and try and emerge ahead of those undercutters here, and basically try and get ourselves into a scenario where we can work with our teammate and try and control this race from the front. The Williams cars going for the ultimate strategy. They're going to have to fight through the field later, along with Jan Halliday and Luca Rapassa. As you can see, heading out of the pit lane here, we're going to burn the battery down. We're side by side with Conrad here, heading into turn 4. We have the inside line, and we just about stay ahead. That was a little bit too close for comfort, but now we're going to be burning the battery, trying to warm up our tyres here on the outlap as well, as the warm-up is a little bit more difficult now with the hard tyres, heading a little harder on the compounds since the update, and yeah, we're going to see where we emerge in relation to our teammate, who is now coming into the pits as we speak, as you can see from the top. And yeah, let's see where we are in relation to him. We don't want Conrad to undercut him, but we obviously want to be in and around where our teammate is, so we're not at a disadvantage later into the race with older tyres, with those who are going a little bit longer in this race. So let's see, heading on to the start of lap 17, obviously we want to keep the gap to Conrad so we can't jump the both of us in the DRS zone down here, heading towards turn 4. As you can see, the arrow on the left hand side, our teammate is emerging from the pits. We're going to give him the slipstream here as we head out of the pits, and just like we were on the previous lap, side by side, and he has the inside line for turn 4, and we are into a net P1 and P2 with our teammate, and we've nailed that in terms of strategy there. And yeah, we were basically looking to coordinate a swap, first of all for us to charge our battery back up, and to give us an opportunity to save our tyres, being 1 lap older than Gabriel Contino, our teammate here in Shizou. So yeah, we let him go into the first corner. We weren't really planning to go at that point. I would have made that a little bit easier for him, but yeah, we're going to get a move on here. Well, he's going to get a move on. We're going to turn the battery off, save our tyres now, and basically be ready for any attacks from the likes of Conrad, but also be ready with some fresh tyres when the likes of Nicholas Longuet, Alvaro Caraton, Jan Halliday and Luca Rapassa emerge on their medium tyres. And speaking of them, Nico, Jan and Luca are into the pits now, swapping onto the medium compound, as you'll be able to see, passing them on the left hand side in the pit lane. Alvaro Caraton continues for another lap. The Williams are really escaping at the front of that train and breaking the likes of Jan and Luca out. So yeah, they've got a great pace at the moment. Slightly concerning. We're 14 seconds behind the likes of Alvaro, so we'll be about 7 seconds ahead of him after the pit stop, I reckon. But they'll have plenty of traffic to go through as well. So let's see, as we head through the start of lap 25, you'll be able to see in the bottom left, Nico's already on the back of our train here, and Alvaro will be very close to the back of the train as well. He'll be connected to the train by the end of this lap. So it'll be, for them, it'll be about charging the battery up and getting ready for an attack. But as you'll be able to see, heading into the start of lap 27, you'll be able to hear on the radio here,
Longuet broke his wing. Longuet broke his wing.
Nicholas Longuet breaks his wing as he goes for the first move, or one of the first moves into this train. I believe it was with one of the REG cars. I could be wrong on that. I think it was with Tamas Gal, but apologies if that's not quite correct. And heading on to the end of this lap, you'll hear once again, Alvaro Carreton also breaks his wing in the melee as well. So yeah, they go for the alternate strategy, but that does leave you a little bit vulnerable when going for these moves. As you will see in the top left, Alvaro goes for the move once again in the first corner against Joris Krozen with his broken wing, with low battery as well, and heading into the latter parts of this lap, Lucas Longa is going to dive down the inside of Tamas Gal, forcing his way through with his broken wing, and yeah, they're going to be completely tagging each other and wheel working a little bit through the end of this lap, and that has made a little bit of a hole in this train for the time being. The top 5 have escaped, and yeah, they're basically crashing out back there right now, and heading on to the start of lap 34, end of lap 33. Jan Halliday has emerged as the main protagonist on those medium tyres, but as you'll be able to see, heading on to the start of lap 24, once again, he is going to make contact with Florian. He's going to go for a spin in the first corner. So any kind of threat we had from these alternate strategy runners has gone up in smoke for those guys. And yeah, I'm not sure if they would have reached us. They probably would have reached us, the Williams guys. But yeah, any sort of threat from them has gone well and truly out the window. And yeah, a bit of a shame to not see where they would have got, but obviously a great help for us in the championship and our race. So yeah, heading on to the last lap, we are maintaining this P1 and P2. We didn't swap at all through this stint after that initial swap. We were planning to, but Gabby got a dose of DRS from a back marker, and we basically decided to stay where we were. But heading to this last lap, we were thinking about, you know, we got a lot of criticism after Mexico. We got a 1-2 with our teammate Joe Murphy last time out, but we I don't want to say allowed him to keep the win because he obviously deserved it, but in terms of a driver standings, you know, we didn't take full advantage of that scenario. We didn't swap. We took a lot of criticism, and we don't want to take things for granted heading into the last few races of this championship. So we're going to learn from that potential mistake, if you can call it that, and Gabby is going to let us go on the run up to the line here very kindly, as we let him go earlier to lead this race, and we're going to take the win home here to head home a 1-2 for the SCI team. And yeah, Williams Sim Racing after penalties, I believe they came home P11 and P12, something around that, P10, P11, P11, P12, something like that. And yeah, absolute nightmare for them after penalties. And yeah, that promoted our rival Luca Rapassa up a few places. So yeah, helpful in one way, not helpful in another, but we maximised this race in the best way we could. And yeah, we're looking forward to try and finish a season strong. 2 1-2s in a row. So yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, with Williams making a little bit of a faux pas in that race. And yeah, Silverstone up next, I believe, for round 6 out of 8 in this championship, and we're looking strong to try and fight for these 2 championships here. But yeah, that's enough waffling for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll try and knock these next few videos out very, very shortly. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Peace.